All right, so if you're a golfer, some exciting news right now, especially Michigan golfers. Arcadia Bluffs, guest golf course, west side of Michigan, they've announced they're building a brand new course. Now, currently, Arcadia Bluffs obviously has the historic Arcadia Bluffs course on the water. That's a national type attention, top 100 golf course. They also have Arcadia South, which we'll get to in a second, but just announced Arcadia Bluffs recently that they're building a brand new course. So they're a third course, but it's going to be a 12-hole course, which is becoming more popular and definitely, exciting to see. Huge golf resort, a lot of fanfare already, but your initial thoughts on that?
It sounds like it's a course that Brooks Koepka designed, since apparently he gets bored after about like hole 11, he blacks out between 11 and 15. No, I think it's a great idea. I mean, look, with more and more people getting into it on the social side, women obviously playing more golf, kids, youth, I think it's certainly an added incentive, and it's a great way to get people into the game without necessarily having to commit 4 hours or 5 hours potentially, to actually playing around a golf. So I think it's a great idea. It's a great way to keep people on property, make it just more of a fun, casual thing while you still have, the incredible tradition and views of the Bluffs. And in my opinion, the tougher test and, the better golf course, which is Arcadia South.
It is, and let's get into that in a moment. The dozen, it's called, is going to be the 12-hole course that they announced. This was from the Arcadia Township Planning Commission. So it's going to be called the dozen. It's going to include 12 holes, several par threes. It'll also feature 4 cottages with future plans for 4 additional cottages, and also a clubhouse, pro shop, dining facilities, maintenance building, 2 restroom buildings as well. So it sounds like this is going to be obviously just a separate standalone course with its own pro shop, with its own restaurant, etc. And again, with the demand for Arcadia Bluffs and people going there to play, especially the Bluffs course itself, there is beautiful lodging on site, but there's only so much. So I think this is just an example of Arcadia getting, obviously, so much attention nationally and people traveling, which they do from all over to play it. It's probably a situation where they just said, we have such a demand for golfers coming in. We could easily build a third course, do something new with a 12-hole golf course, which isn't unprecedented. Jack Nicklaus has designed one before. That there are others that exist, but it still is, not the norm, I guess, for golf. So they're probably looking as, hey, we have golfers coming here. This is an opportunity to get them on another course.
Right. And honestly, I mean, we've both been lucky enough to play Arcadia several times. And if you've ever driven in that area, there really isn't that much. There's a ton of land. I would assume that they either own or are acquiring a lot of that land, similar to on a much lesser scale, like Augusta National just buys up land all surrounding the club. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's going on. If we're going to be able to get people up here, we might as well keep them here, keep them on property, and let them, walk to the bar and stay really close on site and just kind of bounce around amongst the three. So again, I think it's genius. It's great to just get more eyeballs on that side of the state because, obviously Whistling Straits is the across the pond, across the lake,
which I've been to,
duplicate, right? But I mean, Arcadia Bluffs is just as dreamy from a view standpoint and where it actually sits right there on the coast.
And Arcadia Bluffs, it gets national attention. There's no doubt. It gets a lot of publications now. A lot of content creators are starting to talk about it and play it more. Gorgeous property. I mean, truly some of the most scenic views you'll have playing golf. You almost feel like you're overseas or you feel like you're at Whistling Straits, etc. It's just a true pleasure to go play it. And it kind of is in the middle of nowhere. Lodging can be, they do have great on-site lodging, but there's some Airbnbs around there. There's Crystal Mountain not too far if you've never been. But yeah, currently Arcadia Bluffs and Arcadia South are 2 of the top 10 courses consistently in Michigan.
Easily.
And to that point earlier, I agree. Arcadia South is not scenic. There's not one hole that's on, you can't even see the water like you can with Arcadia Bluffs. But it is tougher. It is square greens like Chicago Golf Club. I thought it was extremely tough when we played it. It's tough to hold a ball on those greens. And it's an unpopular opinion because Arcadia Bluffs is so renowned and there's no doubt it's extremely scenic. It is. It's breathtaking.
Right.
Truly. But in terms of pure golf course, yeah, I think Arcadia South is tougher, and it's really just the concept of just because it's scenic or just because there's nice pictures on the water doesn't mean that it's a better golf course.
No, I agree, and I think the balance to that of having this amazing scenery while also being an amazing golf course, the perfect balance of that is probably Pebble Beach. Like, I don't know if there's one that could be duplicated as far as the setting, the scenes, and the fact that it's just a really good, difficult golf course. I think it's hard to match those two things, and I agree. Sometimes it gets convoluted in the argument and the what you're talking about when you say, "Oh my gosh, yeah, what a pleasure! It's amazing to play on the water." Well, yeah, but what about the actual course itself? And Bluffs is still
no
top notch, top 10. This is not meant to slight Arcadia Bluffs in any way, shape, or form. But as far as the challenge, the uniqueness, a totally different brand of golf, right down to the grass. The grass isn't even the same. The fact that there's no trees out there, essentially, it's just wide open. You're exposed to the wind. You're exposed to all the elements. And literally, if you hit the wrong part of the green, or you're a little too far right, or you challenge the pin too much, you're going to be deep in a bunker. You're going to roll off left into a bunker, and it creates a whole nother set of issues. So it's, in my opinion, again, it just depends on what kind of golf you want to play, the type of golfer, maybe the level you are. But I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy getting my ass kicked at Arcadia South every time I play it. I love it.
Well, and the thing is, obviously, with Arcadia Bluffs, it is that unpopular opinion to say that the South is better. You and I have said it, and some people say, "Oh, how could you say that?" Whatever. And yes, you're right here. This is not meant to be. It's not a criticism at all. No. It's more so just talking through an opinion. It's like if you say, "I like lobster better than steak." It's not. We're not criticizing one of the two.
Well, no, that's just a dumb thing to say.
Well, whatever. And I don't. No, and I don't. I do like steak better than lobster. But you're talking about two things that are very, very good. I was trying to think of an example, whatever it would be. Arcadia Bluffs is still great. It's awesome. Like I said, you go out there and the scenery, it's truly breathtaking. It's on the water again. But my only thing is that people get caught up with the scenery, and just because a course is scenic does not mean it's a incredible golf course. Arcadia Bluffs is a great golf course. It is. But I think that Arcadia South is a better golf course, a tougher golf course. You talk about the green complexes, you talk about the layout. Yes, in my opinion, I think Arcadia South is a better golf course than Arcadia Bluffs. It's not as scenic, it's not on the water, but I think a lot of people, and please, you can judge golf courses however you please, and I want people to have great experiences wherever they play. But, a lot of people, I think, get caught up in the incredible scenery at Arcadia Bluffs, and therefore say, "How dare you," when you say Arcadia South is better. Both are great, though. Right.
No, I totally agree. And I mean, there's certainly a lot more that can be said on that. Please, if you want to get in the comments, down below, go ahead and give your thoughts, your opinions, call us crazy, whatever you want to say. The one thing that I do think about, this 12-hole course, clearly you're seeing this with a lot of resorts around the country, probably around the world. Just honestly, not even resorts. This is for all golf courses. Trying to identify things that are just going to keep bringing new golfers to the game. Like whether that's Forest Dunes and the par 3 course and the putting course that they have and the outdoor bar.
Bootlegger, it's great.
Right. I mean, Bandon Dunes has some, absolutely amazing setups. Pinehurst obviously has some incredible ones. But, even, Boyne put in a TrackMan range or whatever it is, where you can go out and be social and play virtual golf with the TrackMan and set it up on your phone and whatnot. I think all these courses, clubs, resorts, whatever, they're just trying to create a fun social atmosphere, different things to do. And I think, too, if you're going to go up to Arcadia now, you go, yeah, you know what? Why not ease our way into what we're going to do over the next couple of days? Maybe you drive up on a Thursday morning, you're there early afternoon. Instead of just going straight to the Bluffs or straight to the South, why don't you play the 12-hole course?
Yeah.
Have some fun, get loose, maybe have a good time, and then guess what? You can tee off at, first off at 7 a.m. at the Bluffs and then play the South in the afternoon or whatever. It just gives a different element of fun. And again, just keeping people on property and just different things to do. That's it.
It is that social aspect of golf too. And like you said, it's another opportunity to have fun on a golf trip type thing makes it, when you go on a golf trip and play 3 courses instead of 2 or whatever, it just adds a whole layer to it. And I think social golf has obviously gotten huge. These 12-hole golf courses have become extremely popular. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of the purists and golf traditionalists, hey, golf course should always be 18 holes, and that's great. And I think I would tend to agree with that. But it doesn't mean that there's not an opportunity for new types of golf, new social golf, people that maybe think golf is too long and don't want to play 4 hours plus at certain resort courses, 5 hours, you can say. Right. And yeah, whether it's Brooks Koepka, whether it's other people that have talked about how, hey, several publications, maybe 12-hole or 14-hole golf courses are the way to do it. Now, do I think that the future of golf is 12-hole or 14-hole golf courses? No, absolutely not. But it doesn't mean that there's not still an opportunity to have something different and something fun to do that's still golf related, much like X Golf, much like Top Golf and 5-iron golf and all these other places.
Well, if anything, I think there's, depending on who you are and the type of golfer you are, there's almost a stress that comes with playing 18 holes in a full round, right? Like where you could have one horrific hole and you card a 9 or an 8 or whatever it is, and you immediately just get down on yourself, rounds over. Yeah. No way I'm going to be able to break 80 or break 90 or whatever it is for that round. I think, if anything, the par 3 courses and now this 12-hole course that's going to be at Arcadia Bluffs, I think it's almost teaching people to just relax and find a more fun way to play the game of golf. Like you and I, it's difficult for us to not relax and have a beverage. For me, I'm a big cigar guy on the course. I like to just vibe and chill, play some music, whatever. I think you and I don't take it, as seriously maybe as some people on, for a round of 18. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of people that do. And I've always found that the more relaxed you are, the more it's just like, hey, you know what? Obviously want to play well. If I don't, whatever. If I do, fantastic. Right. I think you take away that element of stress for some golfers where you're just playing 12 holes. Just go out there and hit it around, practice a little bit, try and work on some stuff, have a few drinks. Like that can be more fun sometimes than just going out there and, oh man, I mean, this 9 has been a disaster. Get me to the next one. Like that's not as fun. There's times to be competitive, and certain rounds are different than others. Obviously, if you're playing in a qualifier, if you're playing in a big event, if you're playing in a member, an invitational, there's certain rounds where hey, you really want to play well. For the PGA Tour, but, I mean, these guys are out here stressing. Like, I'm saying on our level, right? For sure, but like it's your job, and I totally get it. It's totally different. It is tense. Like it's not fun, right? And I think that's what you want to separate a little bit from the tense. Go out there and really get after it for 18 holes and put together a good score. Versus 12 holes, let's go screw around. Let's try and attack pins and see how close we can get. And it's amazing, too. There's some times where I've played my best rounds of golf, when maybe it's early in the morning, I just have coffee, don't really drink, whatever. Yeah, I'll say it. But a little hungover after. Not even that. There are times when I'm in perfect condition, not drinking on the course, feeling my body's feeling really good, and I play great. Right. There's also other times where I'm call it completely sober, in good condition, and I play so bad, and then the second I have a drink on the course, now I start playing well. So there's not some perfect science, especially for amateur golfers and casual golfers. For sure. No, I think it's good to have a mix, though. Yeah. I mean, I think golf trips have expanded so much. I know better than anyone. Like you have to have a balance of team golf versus individual golf versus maybe if you want to do singles matches and match play, but you also have to have that element of, guys, let's have a good time, and late at night, at some of these resorts when no one else is out there, maybe you're taking your shoes off and you're playing barefoot and you're untucking the shirt and you're putting the hat backwards. And like, again, I see a lot of it. Yeah. I think there's an opportunity for the game of golf to include some of that stuff. It's got to be at the right time. It can't be at noon on a Saturday, when it's a busy day, but I don't think there's anything wrong with embracing that social fun. Golf is that you see under the lights golf now. You see that like you mentioned, the bootlegger, things like that. You see it at even, I think, country clubs are even starting to do it to a certain extent with casual golf experiences. Favorite wine and dine? The 9 and dine, the 9 and wine, the couples golf, whatever. Multiple clubs. I've seen a lot of emails lately about couples club championships. Parent-kid club championships.
glow golf at night. I think, there is a time, there without question is a time and place for golf to start doing more of the social stuff. That you got guys on tour that are going to the Bahamas or going to Troubadour or going to places and playing shirtless and with their bare feet and messing around, untucked shirts, whatever. The Grove 23 is like that. There's no policy on that. So I think some of these country clubs could lighten up with that a little bit. Now, you're not doing that at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. There's a time and a place where that's completely unacceptable. But yeah, especially in the evenings, I've always beat the drum on this. In the evenings, that is the best time for kids and for people, women getting into the game of golf to go out there and play in a stress-free way where they're not getting pushed on the tee. They can maybe play a little slower. Pace of play is not a huge emphasis. Still need to get moving.
Hit a bad one, drop another one.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there, that needs to happen because there's in order to learn the game of golf, you need to learn it in those settings that are not pressure. So there absolutely is a time and a place for that, and encourage you to go to MetroDetroitGolfers.com to check out the article that we have about Arcadia Bluffs and building this brand new 12-hole course called the Dozen. It'll be their third course at Arcadia Bluffs over in West Michigan. So definitely looking forward to it. We'll have to get out and play, and please encourage you guys to subscribe and leave a comment below if you've played Arcadia, maybe you want to, and overall your thoughts on 12-hole golf courses.